Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 13 and my picks for Week 14 for the 2021 NFL season. Check it out. Well, I guess Coco wants to say a little hi. Say hi to everybody, so hi Coco. Say hi. Anyway, she just wanted to say hello to everybody. So anyways, that being said, first off, let me give you my thoughts and condolences out of the mass shooting out in Michigan. So I want to give my thoughts and condolences. I think like 4 students got shot in Michigan. I think it was. I forget how many people were shot. I think who died in there. I think it was 4 people that got shot. So anyways, that being said, I think I just want to get my thoughts and prayers out to the people who were affected in that horrible mass shooting in Oxford. I think it was something like that, like somewhere around there. Give my condolences out to them and everything else. But the way things are handling right now, I mean, it kind of puts a set on for Detroit Standards, which I'll get to them in a bit. So that being said, I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to that mass shooting out there in Oxford High School. So they could happen around later over the weekend or something like that. Well, at least around I think it was not this weekend or something like that. But anyways, that being said, I think I just give my point for my thoughts and prayers out for them. 4 people got shot and 7 people were injured and stuff like that. And it was a sad mass shooting, especially in the school like that. Send my thoughts and prayers out to them. Anyways, that being said, let's get on to my Week 13 picks. I'm sorry for the helicopter like that. I think there's an accident or something. And it doesn't help I live near an airport, so I do apologize for that. Okay, let's continue. Thursday night for Dallas and New Orleans. But that being said, I really thought Dallas was going to be in trouble with the COVID protocols and everything out like that. But they ended up pulling out to get the win for Dan Quinn. Now, if I'm Dan Quinn, I would probably be thinking about a head coaching position right now. So anyways, I think that was a great coaching job that he did. I really thought it got him bounced back from the Atlanta games and that he got choked and fired and stuff like that. So, I don't know. So, I think probably next year he'll probably get a coaching job. I think that's a good opportunity for him. So I think that's going to be another chance for him coming up. So I think that's going to be a good one for him. So anyways, that being said, Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Tampa Bay just smoked Atlanta down in Atlanta. Tampa Bay's doing probably in the best record in the NFC right now. I think that looks like it's going to be a big tight one spiral for that. The Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears, Kyle Murray's making a case for his MVP run, like Tom Brady. So I think this is going to become a great stereo on that. Arizona's still being on the top of the mountain, which I think Arizona's number 1 right now, if I'm not mistaken. To be honest with you, in my opinion, I think Arizona's a much better team than Tampa Bay right now. I mean, offensively, yes, but defensively, I'd probably go towards Tampa. But anyways, that being said, I think Arizona and Chicago, Arizona did the things that they needed to do to get the win against Chicago, keep their playoff hopes in the standings and everything else like that. As for Chicago, I think you're probably thinking about another head coach, try to get rid of Matt Nagy. So maybe that's a good opportunity for Dan Quinn to go. It's another opportunity. Anyways, that being said, Cincinnati and the LA Chargers, the Chargers just decimated the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cincinnati Bengals look like the same old Cincinnati Bengals we used to. Just brought back down to earth. I wouldn't blame them much on the loss on Joe Burrow, though. Defensively, they were just a horrible, horrible job on defense. They had no answer for Justin Herbert whatsoever. For Minnesota, Detroit, but like I said, for the Oxford High School shooting, this Oxford High School shooting, it was a great healing momentum for Detroit. Not only get the first win for the year, but it helped them brought the Detroit counties together for a healing process for Minnesota, and they got a big win out of that. So Detroit gets a win, and Not only that, though, it means that, and congratulations to Detroit, you get your first win, but it was also a healing momentum for the Oxford High School shooting. So that was a great healing momentum for the Detroit Lions on that one. So, anyways, that being said, for Miami and for the New York Giants, Miami, it's Miami did Miami things. They won, I believe, 5 straight right now. I think it's going in there. They're going in the hunt right now for the playoffs. So I think they might continue that momentum. They might sneak up on there. We'll see. I think they have one more. I think they have one more division game yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think they have one more, and that's this coming, like the last game of the year. So I think that's going to be coming up for Miami. But in the meantime, Miami did beat up the New York Giants. Now look, Daniel Jones looks like he's going to be done for the year. I think he just had a big injury prone right now. So on. That being said, the Eagles and the Giants, I think DENvsDET is back. So I think we have another quarterback crisis going on in there. But DENvsDET has outgunned the New York Jets really badly. So looks like it's just the New York Jets that are probably bad. They're going to try to fight for that number 1 draft pick, but they have to go through Houston. But that being said, Houston lost to Indianapolis. Indianapolis just outgunned the Houston Texans, and I think Indianapolis is just want to try to get a hunt in the postseason, and it just really turned out to be out that way. And the Vegas Raiders and the Washington football team, that was a big, big win for the Washington football team. It really is. I kind of like the Washington football team, what they're doing right now. Yeah, I think the Washington football team, I think they're really good defensively. They're trying to get their teams together. I'm trying to get everyone in there and everything else. But I do like Tyler Hicking right now. I think he's doing a really good job doing what he's doing. I think you can probably make a case for him to be your starting quarterback. I think he's going to be really good to stay for a lot of years to come. So I think he's making a great, great fit down in that Washington football team down there. And I think he should stay there for a little while. I think he should. He's playing really well right now. But he didn't have the best game, but he did get the job done. So the LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars are just really bad right now. But, for the Rams, they finally snapped their 3-game losing streak, and they finally got the defensive end. So, anyways, I think Sam Darnold, if you're going to pick a guy who not only defensive player of the year, he might make a case maybe an MVP candidate. He's looking like if you had to pick a non-quarterback or offensive player to win the MVP, I'd probably say Sam Darnold because he's just playing pretty well right now. So I think that's to be the way for the Centennial right now. All right, anyways, that being said, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, all right, I'm not going to lie. I think that was a very, very good decision to go for 2-point conversion because you just lost Martin Humphrey for the shoulder injury, and he looks like he's going to be done for the year. And it looks like he just, for the torn pedicle muscle. So I think that's going to be a really, really tough loss for the Baltimore Ravens, which, ironically, the Baltimore Ravens are in a similar situation for the Tennessee Titans right now, which Tennessee had a bye week. So Tennessee they both had an injury prone right now for Baltimore, which that kind of set them back too, if you think about it. If I'm going to say there's a lot of injury prongs in the AFC right now, and everyone mostly in the AFC is getting hurt right now. They see them getting back and forth and stuff like that and everything else. And my Patriots are like that too, so I'll get that in a bit. So, anyways, I think that being said, I think for the Ravens case, I mean, it's not a bad decision to go for 2. It's just like if they would have succeeded, I don't remember who was the tight end. If he would have caught that, he probably would have got it in for the 2-point conversion. So, but he just had a little butterfingers on him. So, but you know what? It wasn't. I don't believe it was a really dumb decision or a bad decision making. I mean, it was a good decision. It's just like the fact they didn't did what they needed to do. And besides, and your best bet's probably go for 2 anyway because the Steelers defensively is not the best right now, so I could see why. So you could probably do it. So, I'm not gonna blame any harsh on John Harbaugh on that one. I mean, that was a gutsy call too, if you think about it. So, but it just didn't work out. I mean, just ask Belichick; his gutsy calls didn't work out either, and it didn't either. Like the one again in 2009. So just back in 2009, again with Tom Brady in the Colts with the 4-2 play, this is a good example out of that. I mean, those things, you make gutsy calls. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know. All right, let's continue on. San Francisco and Seattle. Seattle just pulled out one of the biggest upsets of the year, if I'm thinking. Well, I wouldn't call that because I didn't pick it. So, anyways, that being said, I think for Seattle's case, I think they're on a men's right now to say, look, we're probably not the best defense right now, but at least we want to beat our opponent, our division rivals. And that's exactly what they did. So, I think that being said, I think that's going to be a game that's going to be momentum on that and everything else on that. But anyways, with that being said, I think that for Seattle's case, I think that defense is really young. I'll just give them a little more time for maybe a few more years to come. They'll probably have the best defense in the league. But I'm not saying next year, maybe 2023 season, we're probably going to see something like that for Seattle. So anyways, that being said, I think this is a rebuilding process for Seattle, but they got the division win they needed. So there you go. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Now, they've changed, kept the win, but that's what they needed. But Patrick Mahomes is not putting up Patrick Mahomes numbers, which is pretty surprising. But I think you're being said all that. It's probably because you gave him a lot of money to go after Patrick Mahomes to keep as your quarterback, but you don't have enough to get your defensive players or get some protection out for him. He may have got some weapons in Travis Kelce as a tight end, and I believe some wide receivers too. I'm trying to think who in the top of my head right now. I think Sammy Watkins is out there, but I can't think of the name of the wide receivers right now. So right now for the wide receiver core, but yeah, Tyreek Hill, I believe Josh Gordon's still there, and Demarcus Robinson's still there, and I mean he's got the wide receivers at a tight end. But I'm just saying, if you don't have a defense, if you don't have an offense to protect him, it's probably not going to be an easy thing to do right now. But anyways, I think that's for the Chiefs situation right now. But I think they're probably going to go for a draft pick for an offensive guard to try to get some protection for him. So I think that's going to be the key momentum for Kansas City to go after and go from there. Anyways, let's continue on. Monday Night Football, my Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. I've got to say, that was probably the most interesting Monday Night Football games I've ever seen in my life. Not because of the Patriots were in it, but it was just a game that I would think that you're going up against 25 to 50 mile an hour in the winds. You have like the wind on your back and everything else, like everything else. But that being said, like it's a game of inches, the way I say it. That was the case for the Patriots, what they did last night. And there's only 3 pass attempts by Mac Jones for 19 yards. Think about that. In the rushing yards, I believe there was like over 200 yards of rushing with Damian Harris and Stevenson in there. And I mean, that was a lot of running game they did. It was kind of old school football from the 20s to the 1950s. They did stuff like that, covered like old school football, just run the football, and they're going to kill the clock. And that was exactly what the Patriots did. And if you're the Patriots, if you're the Bills right now, you're probably thinking, how did this happen, in our own turf? We should have done better than that and everything else. But I think the problem right now for Buffalo, they're relying too much on Josh Allen. And I just saw it last night. They're just relying on too much of him. I mean, you got the offense, you got the wide receiver job, but the only difference, they don't have a tight end that I would think you would get. I mean, for the wide receivers you got, I think you have the weapons you needed. So I just think for Buffalo's case, you're just relying on too much on Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders too much. So I think that's going to, which is a really good players. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. So, but I'm just saying, for the Bills, for the Bills case, for defense, for tight ends and everything else like that, it's not really the best scenario right now. For like Dawson Talks, I think. I mean, but I think from what I'm saying is like they're just relying too much on Josh Allen. So but Tommy Sweeney, I'm not really sure about him. I think I don't know. I mean, I think just rely too much on everything on Josh Allen to make those big arms, especially in those tight situations. But I think for anything to discuss the tight end the tight ends position, though. They don't really have a big tight end threat, so that was the big problem for Buffalo. And a good running game either. So, and Belichick knew that, and then hunt them. So, but I just feel like Buffalo's relying too much on Josh Allen. I think that's the way I look at it right now for them. It's not that Josh Allen's a bad player. He has a gun. It's just, I think the problem was they just relied too much on him, and it kind of haunted them, especially in the last play in the game, though, on the Patriots defense, and when they knocked the ball away. So, I don't know. But, nevertheless, though, it doesn't get it more easier for Buffalo right now. No, Buffalo is going to go face Tampa Bay, and it's going to be a big one for them to keep their playoff hopes alive. So, I think because of that game that lost for Buffalo, that puts the Patriots on the edge to go back on top of the AFC East. And think most likely, if we beat Buffalo again, I think we got that division wrapped up. So I think that's the way I see it for that point. So Buffalo at least lose 2 more wins, or at least we got to get 2 more wins after our bye week. So I think that's the way that's going to go. And till then, that's my thoughts about Week 13. Let's get on to my Week 14 picks. Let's kick things off against the Thursday night football game with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night. Pittsburgh is coming from a big win against the Baltimore Ravens, and they got a short week. And so does Minnesota, which both teams got a loss, and they're both hungry for a win. But I think Pittsburgh probably wants it more because after what happened. So, well, actually, for Pittsburgh's case, they won the game. But I think for defensively, they're going back on what they need to do. But and this is Big Ben's on another run. And I think they're probably going to go at it. Kind of like a similar situation what they did for the 2005 season when they went on to win the Super Bowl. When Jerome Bettis called it and said he was going to call it a career and is going to go on top. I feel like this is going to be almost the same exact situation for Pittsburgh, for this year's Pittsburgh right now. And good for Mike Tomlin, too, if you think about that. But anyways, that being said, I think for Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to beat out the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. And I think for the Minnesota, if you're Kirk Cousins you're probably thinking, this is probably my last shot at Minnesota. I got to make the best of it. But if I'm Minnesota, I'd probably consider drafting a quarterback in the draft. But anyways, that being said, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Minnesota Vikings in this game as an upset of the week. And I'll tell you why. Because the Minnesota Vikings are a 3-point favorite to win this game. But I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers +3. And the over and under is 44. I'm going to go under 44. I'm going to consider this to be a low-scoring game because both defenses are pretty good. The Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, another the division showdown for Baltimore to travel. And this time they're going to Cleveland, which is another defensive team that's really good. This is going to be a really good scenario on that. But the loss of... but I'll say this, but the loss for the Baltimore Ravens, for the Marlon Humphrey, that's going to be a big loss for the Ravens, and it's probably going to hurt their defense right now. And I think Cleveland's going to take advantage of that, and they're probably going to steal the win. So for Cleveland, Baker Mayfield's going to have some good yarding, and I think they're going to have some yardage. But don't get me wrong, I think Lamar Jackson offensively, they're going to have an offensive shootout. I think I'm going to see Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. They're going to have an offensive shootout. Usually that comes down to that for Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. Usually comes down to the offensive shootouts, and then usually there's no defense at all when it comes to when those two quarterbacks play each other. So that being said, for the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns over the Baltimore Ravens in this game due to the fact for the Marlon Humphrey injury. On the line, though, Cleveland's favored by 2 in this game. I'm going to take Cleveland -2. Over and under is 42. I'm going to go over 42 because I'm going to see this as a high-scoring game. Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, this game, I think this is going to be the time where for Tennessee to say, look, we're fresh up from the bye week. We got a lot of injury prongs right now. If we're coming back, I believe they're going to get some guys back. So I think that's going to make a good recovery for Tennessee. And they're probably going to beat out Jacksonville to do that. Consider after what happened 2 weeks ago against my Patriots. That being said, and it's at home against Tennessee, I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans over the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. On the line, though, Tennessee is favored by 10.5 in this game. I'm going to take Tennessee -5. Over and under is 44. I'm going to go under 44. I just don't see Jacksonville putting up some numbers. All right, that being said, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders, AFC West rival. But this game, I think this is going to be, but it's an Arrowhead, but I think this game, they're going to be a solid one. But I'm going to say this. The Chiefs defense is not a joke. But like I said, Patrick Mahomes and the offense, they're not having the best season right now. But defensively, they're playing really well right now, and I'm giving a lot of credit to that. So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Las Vegas Raiders in this game. On the line, though, Kansas City is favored by 9.5 in this game. I'm going to take Kansas City -9. Over and under, it's 52. I'm going to go under 52 on this one because I'm thinking the Vegas Raiders are not going to do as much on defense. The New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. The New Orleans Saints are going to... Let me see. Oh, yeah. The New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. The New Orleans Saints are going to be potential for the try to get it. I couldn't get the word out. This is a good game for the New Orleans Saints to step up to the plate saying, look, we want to get a wild card spot, and we can probably do it against the Jets. If you're the Jets, you're just going to try to go for the top 3 draft picks. So that being said, I'm going to go for the New Orleans Saints over the New York Jets in this game. On the line, though, the New Orleans Saints are favored by 6 in this game. I'm going to take New Orleans Saints -6. Once again, I'm going to take the Saints straight up and the Saints -6. Over and under is 43. I'm going to go under 43. The Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Football Team. Now, this game I expect to be a defensive game. This is going to be a defensive game. You're going to see go back and forth on that one. Who's going to have the ball last and stuff like that. So, I think that being said, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Tyler Hinkie and Dallas for Dak Prescott, they're going to probably get some numbers up to try to try to get an offense going. So I think that being said, I think Dallas is going to handmail the Washington Football Team in that one. So I'm going to take Dallas over the Washington Football Team in this game. On the line, though, Dallas is favored by 5 in this game. That's too many points. I think I'm going to take Washington Football Team +5. Because I think the Washington Football Team is going to make this a game. So over and under, it's 48. I'm going to hedge my bets on this one and go over 48 because I think both offenses are going to score some numbers. So I think that's the way I look at it for that. The Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons in this game. The Carolina Panthers are going back, and the Cam Newton is going to do some Cam Newton things. You know, he's going to do what he needed to do, but it's against Atlanta. But I will say this. Carolina's going to pull up the upset, I think. So I'm going to take Carolina over the Atlanta Falcons in this game. On the line, though, Atlanta's favored by 3 in this game. Actually, no, I take it back. I'm sorry. I think Carolina's going to get the win, but I think it's going to, but I don't think they're going to cover. So I'm going to take Carolina over Atlanta. And Carolina's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Atlanta +3. Over and under, it's 43. I'm going to go under 43. The Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. Now, this is another win for Seattle and must take. Maybe to get a chance to get a push in the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks over the Houston Texans in this game. In this one because of Houston. I think Houston wants that #1 draft pick. On the line, though, Seattle's favored by 7.5 in this game. I'm going to take Seattle's -7.5. Over and under, it's 42. I'm going to go over 42. The Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions in this game. Now, give credit what's credit's due for Detroit. They have a great defense, and they kind of helped Detroit's defense out. Anyways, that being said, I think for if you're the Denver Broncos right now, you need to get a desperate to throw in for a playoff push. So, if I'm going to be the Denver Broncos, I'm going to just try to rely on my defense and my offense to get the job done. That being said, I think I'm going to take the Denver Broncos at home over the Detroit Lions in this game. On the line, though, the Denver Broncos are favored by 8 in this game. I'm going to take Detroit +8. Over and under is 42. I might go under 42. The LA Chargers and the New York Giants. Now, this is a game that we don't know what the Giants situation right now with Daniel Jones. I don't know if he's going to play or if he's going to not play. And I don't know about that. But now the LA Chargers are healthy. But the only thing, the big loss is Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen has to be on the COVID protocol. So that's going to be a tough one for the Chargers as well. But I don't think, if you're Justin Herbert, you're probably not going to care. You're just probably going to try to get the win. So I'm going to take the LA Chargers over the New York Giants in this game. On the line, though, the LA Chargers are 10 are favored by 10. I'm going to take the LA Chargers minus 10. Over and under is 45. I'm going to go over 45. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. All right. Tom Brady, and he's going to get back into form. I really think this is a big game for Tampa Bay, but it's also a big game for Buffalo after the devastating loss for my Patriots yesterday. I really think that's going to be a tough one to swallow for Buffalo. But if you're Buffalo, you need to fight for that wild card spot, which I think they're in the wild card spot, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm going to put the comments below on that one. So, anyways, that being said, this is a must-win situation for Buffalo right now. They really need to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they don't beat Tampa Bay, then I don't know how to say this for Buffalo. I don't think Bills Mafia, don't hate me with this. It's not because I don't hate the Buffalo Bills. That's not the reason I'm going to say this. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Patriots fan. But I'm going to say this as a respective. If you don't beat Tom Brady and the Bucs, then I don't see a chance that the Bills are going to make the playoffs. I don't see it happening right now. You have to win this game just to keep your playoff mentals alive to get the wild card spot at best. If that's not the case, then this is going to be a big problem for Buffalo right now. But unfortunately for Buffalo, I don't see this happening. I think because Tampa Bay needs to get a playoff push on their own. And I really think that's going to be the case for Tampa Bay. Especially that they have, with the Bills, with my Patriots, I don't see how they're going to do with the defensive, with the Buccaneers right now, how they're going to do it. Especially if you have Tom Brady as your offense. And a lot of years with Tom Brady, he pushed the Buffalo Bills really hard. I think that's going to continue after this weekend. So I think I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Buffalo Bills in this game. On the line, though, Tampa Bay is favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 3. Over and under, it's 53. I think I'm going to go over 53. I think we're going to get some numbers out there from Josh Allen. The San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is a game of must-win situations for San Francisco. They don't beat Cincinnati. I think this is it for San Francisco. You might as well go one for the top 15 pick. Anyways, that being said, Cincinnati needs a big win too, because I think they're going to be a big loss. They lost to Cincinnati. The LA Chargers, But I think this is a game, a must-win situation for both of them, just to keep both playoff pushes alive. But I had to pick a winner. I'm going to probably say San Francisco in this game. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers over the Cincinnati Bengals in this game as an upset pick. On the line, San Francisco is favored by 1 in this game. I'm going to say San Francisco plus 1. Over and under is 47. I'm going to go over 47.5. Saturday Night Football. An NFC North Showdown. And probably one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL. The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Now, this game is going to be a big ultimate test for Justin Fields. If he plays, because I'm really considering it, they should play him. I think if you're Justin Herbert, please pray that Matt Nagy gets fired, because he needs to get an offensive coach, or at least a coach that understands him. So I think that's going to be the case scenario for the Chicago Bears right now. But I'll say this: if the Chicago Bears don't make the playoffs, this is it for Matt Nagy. So, anyways, that being said, but I think that's going to be the case scenario coming up. But I think after this week, I think Chicago gets eliminated, if I'm not mistaken, or get eliminated from the division. I think Green Bay gets the division, if Green Bay wins this. So this game means more to Green Bay than Chicago. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home on Sunday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. And on the line, though, Green Bay's favored by 12 in this game. I'm going to take Green Bay minus 12. Over and under is 44. I'm going to go over 44. Monday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. NFC West Showdown. This is a must-win for Arizona to keep the number 1 spot in the NFC. Now, this game is a must-win for Arizona. And I think if Arizona wins this, I think they get to the division, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know for a fact yet. But anyways, this is a must-win for Arizona to at least try to get to that point. They're almost at that point to get the division. Anyways, that being said, I think the Arizona Cardinals will take on the LA Rams, beat the LA Rams. I'm going to take Arizona Cardinals over the LA Rams in this game. On the line, though, Arizona is favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Arizona -3. Over and under, it's 52. I'm going to go under 52. Oh, before I get to my shoutouts and everything, I forgot. My record last week, straight up 8-6. Now, because of that, I'm 121, 63-1 overall. And against the spread, I went 9-5. I'm 99-88 overall with 2 pushes. And the over and under, I'm 6-8. I'm 96-91 in 2. So I forgot to talk about my record on that. So what I did last week. So I do apologize for that, and I apologize for not including who's on the bye week this week, which is the Indianapolis Colts, the Miami Dolphins, my Patriots, and the Eagles. So if you have like Matt Jones, the Patriots defense, or the Eagles defense, or if you got Tua Iona, or if you got the Colts defense, just bench them because they're not going to be playing this week. So get a heads up on that one right now. And that being said, I do want to make an announcement because I'm not doing it because it's a political reason. I'm just doing it because of me. But I wanted to inform you guys that I did get the booster shot as of today. So here you go. The booster shot is in the book. So, and no, this is not a fake one like I heard with Antonio Brown, which that's another topic for another day because Antonio Brown is suspended. And in the flip, on one hand, yeah, he should get suspended for doing the fake ID. But on the other hand, it's kind of unfair for that because Aaron Rodgers got away with it for lying, and that's what they do. But that's another topic for another day. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. You know, I just did it for me because I just wanted to. I know I have family that had COVID and stuff like that. I'm just doing it because some of my family members had tested positive for COVID, and a family member stuck in the hospital for a number of weeks. So, but survived it. But anyways, that being said, you know, I just did it because, you know, I just want to stay healthy and strong and everything. I'm not saying it's gonna work. I'm just gonna say I did it for myself because I wanted to do it for my family and just in case I do get sick or something like that. I'm not saying I'm not going to, but I just want to do it for me and stuff like that. And I'm not going to tell people to get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your decision. If you want to get it, go for it too. I am not going to be one of those guys to be convinced of people getting vaccinated or not. If you want to get vaccinated, that's your business. But if you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your business too. So anyways, I want to clear that one out. Because I'm no scientist or a politician or anything like that. I'm not going to convince you to not to do anything. You make your own decision. So, I wanted to point that one out. So, anyways, that being said, a big shout out this week is my good old friend Matt, the NFL Fanatic, who is a great NFL YouTube prognosticator. I think I gave him a shout out earlier in the year, but I don't remember. So I just trying to look through the members who I haven't gotten. If any of the NFL YouTube prognosticators I haven't called you out, I apologize. Let me know. I'll give you one as soon as I can. So anyways, that being said, give Matt, the NFL Fanatic, some love. And check out the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page in the description down below. If right down there. So until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying rock out.